Thanks for tuning into the Carry Hannah podcast. Here's your host, Bryce and Kevin.
Welcome back to Carry Handle Podcast with your hosts, Bryce and Kevin. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kevin, how are you on this Sunday? It is Sunday. We always record on Sunday.
I think it's Sunday. Well, sometimes we record on Mondays, but today is Sunday.
That is true. We do that. So what is specifically special about what are we doing on this beautiful day of the suns?
We're talking to people and we're doing stuff. We're having some interesting guests on.
Would you care to introduce the people of which we speak?
I should. Producer Hannah,
Hannah's
on down.
Actually on the podcast. Hello, sweetheart.
And hello.
From orchestration to presentation. and we also have Jesse, the Boondock Ballistician, has graced us. I realize my audio.
Jesse's
here.
Hi,
Jesse. Hello.
Happy to be back. Thank you guys for having me.
I don't know why I'm waving at the mic.
That's okay. I see the wave. I'm waving back. We're good. To the viewers at home, listeners at home, hands up.
Yeah. Give us a wave back.
Give us the wave back. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show. Jesse, returning guest, obviously, and friend of the show. And then the reason the show happens at all, my beautiful wife. Thank you for making time.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Hannah.
Yes, and thank you for putting this on, as of always. I've been trying to make a point of thanking you because you are awesome. So
she keeps us holding together.
That's what I'm saying. The only reason this has moved at all. So, sweetie, what has precipitated this? Not that we record literally every Sunday, but
literally every Sunday, and don't forget Monday.
And Monday, that's true. When my scheduler makes it happen. So, what has brought us here? What would you like to talk about?
So, Jesse and I have been talking, and we were thinking about doing like our perspective. Like, I'm a new shooter, and so kind of get my perspective and then get her perspective.
Okay. So in terms of like, now are we talking ground floor? Are we talking carrying guns? Are we talking picking one up for the first time? What capacity do you guys want to talk about?
That all kind of goes hand in hand, right? I think for women, the interest in guns stems from a different spot. So like why maybe you wanted to start shooting more is a good conversation to have. What aspects you're curious on, like perfecting.
Yeah, that's a good start.
So first off, before we start, should we do like a little introduction?
So let's do an intro. Jesse, we've had her on the show before, but Jesse, give us your elevator introduction for people that may have not tuned in before.
It's your girl, Boondock Ballistician. As we said before, I am the Bullet Lady. If you guys haven't seen me on YouTube, I am a full-time ballistician, part-time YouTube entertainer. I like it, Bullet Lady.
Bullet Lady.
Yeah, so I know a lot about ammo. I like guns and kind of combine the two into video content for you lovely listeners.
Love it.
That's good.
Perfect.
Guns and ammo go together. I think.
Introduce yourself, Hannah. Who are you? Say hi.
Sometimes.
Hi. Hannah here, known as the admin for the podcast.
Producer,
kind of like two roles.
Okay, good.
I'm a mom.
Good, good. Okay, so I guess depending on who wants to go first, Hannah, because you just introduced last, you're up first, and you're literally
go Hannah
to me.
Go Hannah.
So
go Hannah. Go.
What was your first introduction to guns? What brings you? What started your interest? What are you looking for when you look at firearms? What do you see?
Well, I honestly had no intro to firearms until we got together. I had no idea. I mean, I knew what guns were, but I didn't know I didn't know how to pick one up. I didn't know how to shoot one. I had zero knowledge about guns. And so I've seen it through your eyes, and it's pretty interesting. Fire, sort of
Fire.
No, like carrying a gun.
Oh, okay.
Or a rifle.
So, like in terms of using it more like a lifestyle instead of
kinda living through, like, vicariously through
Mhm.
Bryce's.
Yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
that kind of segues into a question I did have for you, Hannah. I see very commonly women who are largely more indifferent to firearms. They're not against it, but they're not really interested. When they become moms, suddenly are much more interested. Is that something you think kind of applies to you?
Yeah, and also, being socially aware of, what's going on around my surroundings, and now that I have a son, I just wanna make sure we're always safe.
Absolutely, and I see it time and time again, the idea of being able to defend yourself, your kid, when you're out in public, like, suddenly now the need for that defense is way higher because it's not just you, it's your baby, it's your child. And I think that's way more common for women to have that as an introduction to firearms, whereas for men, it's more commonly just like, "Big bang. We like the noise, it's
I
fun,"
like
and that's
I like
Boom.
big
cool
bangs.
too, but
Yeah, and I mean, I will say I had when Bryce and I first got together, I was all excited about it. We went to the gun range.
You got a
Oh,
consistent
and
placement.
then I kinda just dropped being focused about it because I became a mom, and then I guess you would say I let fear of shooting kind of get in my head, and so now we're kinda, in a way, starting over to get that fear gone.
To like it.
yeah,
Mm.
So in
I think
terms
this
of
is
like
such a good
acclimation.
convers
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, so
Is there
actually
anything
I
specific Oh, I was gonna ask, is there anything specific that, like I don't wanna say you were afraid of firearms, but was there an aspect that you kind of were less comfortable with specific? Like, "Sure, I'll go shoot,
Yeah.
but I really don't care for a certain thing."
I I think I really need to focus on, the gun that I wanna carry, instead of just going to the gun range and taking all these guns with us and having fun. I think it needs to be more specific for me.
More focused, yeah.
Yeah,
more targeted.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So,
Mm.
hmm.
Wow, yeah,
So and
that's
so
good stuff.
I guess maybe it's more instead of coming at it from Jesse said a good example is instead of big boom, it's more of a tool. It's more of a
Mhm.
lifestyle. Instead of for me, it's a career and it's my hobby and
Art
You eat,
form.
sleep, and breathe it.
it's literally everything that I
Yeah.
do. So it's that's interesting. I hadn't really framed it that way. But I mean it's akin to having a skill to get yourself around. I mean, it's to navigate a world. So I guess it's
And
kind
I
of like
think
driving a car.
Yeah.
the other part of it too is, with where I'm employed, they just approved for concealed carry. However, there's, subsections of the statute and offices being able to carry. So it's kinda like I'm limited. That
Yeah.
makes it kinda hard for me to be able to conceal when I'm at
Yeah,
my
that's
old job.
something
That's
I can
definitely
relate to.
constraint. Yeah.
I previously lived in a state that was very gun happy, but I commuted to a state that was very much not gun happy. So while I was used to carrying, I was used to having firearms like in my car or even just, hey, a range trip and you forget stuff in your trunk and don't think twice.
Yeah.
Suddenly now I have to be way more cautious with what I do because, "Oh, whoops, I accidentally forgot my pistol in my glove box," is a felony now.
Oopsie
So it
poopsie,
makes it
what a
harder to get
felony.
into things if you have to constantly be aware of removing them and undoing them in your everyday life. Whereas, like,
Yeah,
if you could
and
just carry without thinking twice about it, it makes it
yeah,
that much easier to be normal.
and I mean, I
I like Bryce's.
technically could because if they don't know I'm concealed, it doesn't matter. However,
That
Based
is
gun
not that
response.
is most based wife response ever.
Uh,
However,
oh,
an
yeah.
admin thing real quick. We are not advocating you do that.
no.
However, if you do, still based.
Oh, hang on.
Don't
Let me get
commit
back
felonies on our account.
My fucking wife is like, I
Our
mean,
let
our
me get back
legal
to that
budget
point.
is not that big.
So
And I love that you said that so much.
I mean,
Based
fuck yeah,
Gunty.
dude.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, so let me come back. So we
What's
had a
the sign
request
gonna do?
from a different office. They had called and asked and said, "Hey, our office lets us conceal carry. Where we when we work with them, are we allowed to carry?" And we had to like really look into the statute. We had to look into the what the what the law was just voted on like a year ago and see if they could actually do it. And it says that they're not allowed to. So it's like I absolutely want to conceal carry, but I have these
Barriers, yeah.
barriers that
Yeah.
keep coming up. So it's like it
Yeah.
makes it a little difficult.
And so you can have the amazingly based opinion like my beautiful wife has, but at the end of the day, you're
Yeah.
still combating the very real likelihood that someone might see that you have a gun and go, "Hey, you're fired," which would not be super cool and definitely
Well, that's
negative
where layered
towards your
defense
life.
comes in too. That's where the layered defense ideology comes in. Like, if you can't have a gun, you can have this. If you can't have this, you can have this, so on and so forth. I mean, like where I
Well,
work,
and
I most certainly can't have a gun on me.
But yeah, oh
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, because you're bending around, you're around people, you're exposing parts of your it's inescapable to be it's unrealistic. Now, when you're younger, it's easier to be like, "Oh, gotta have a gun all the time." And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, that'd be great, but I like to
Hey, man,
travel. I'm an adult.
pocket,
Like I go places.
pocket, sand, and fist.
It's
Listen, keister carry is a thing, but I'm not that committed. I'm just saying.
Hey,
Nobody
man,
needs a filster. You have a pocket for
keys.
yourself.
Wait, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Here it comes. Bang. Oh no. Oh, there goes a testicle. It's
That being
gone.
said,
Oh
I
well.
have no problem with concealed carrying, like, when I'm not at work. That's just been my issue
Okay.
Well,
lately.
it adds a
So
whole level of complication because now you have
Mhm.
to when you want to get into the habit of carrying and you want to get comfortable carrying, well, now essentially, what, 5 out of 7 days of the week, you can't for most
Yeah.
people, and it's hard to build those practices and that level of comfort when half the time, more than half the time, you're just not able to. And I think for a lot of people, getting used to having something on your person is huge. Like, forget about training and learning to use it, even just feeling a firearm or like having one in your proximity is a step in of itself, and you're limited with it.
So, like, we've been starting having me teach Bryce has been teaching me how to load and unload several rifles that we have.
well,
Now,
so
can I ask,
I
I'm
actually
assuming you wanna Oh, please go on.
no, no, sorry.
Yes,
I
Bryce.
got that idea from my boss. She, a woman, obviously, but she was well, not obviously that she's a woman, but that I said she, and it's
Obviously, she's a
obviously a
woman.
woman of who I'm talking about. Sorry. Okay, so my boss she was talking about what it was like trying to get comfortable with her, and she said what her dad did was make her clear the gun because it's not scary if you know it's unloaded or you know how to unload it. Not that it's a gun's ever unloaded, whatever. I'm talking about if you know what the status of that gun is and you know how to make it do what you want, it's no longer a scary snake that might bite you. So
Right.
that is not my
Takes
idea. I
the
want to
fear
give
out.
credit where credit is due.
No,
Yeah.
and I think it's a good idea for sure. I think and again, I'm generalizing here because it's different for all people, but I do try to take a lot of women to the range, new shooters, and I do see a lot of trends with women being more afraid of the gun itself. Not that they're against shooting, not that they don't like they're against guns, but there's a level of discomfort and fear and it stems from not being familiar, not knowing. Like, a lot of people, "Oh, I don't shoot guns. I know if I pick up a gun, it can go off," which is a gross generalization. But
Right.
until you start manipulating them and getting comfortable with, like, even just cleaning, even just changing the mags in and out, like, just general usage, it's a huge taboo, scary item.
Yeah, you're breaking that whole mantra of boys play with guns, girls play with Barbies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
absolutely. And
And
it's
then
a
I
tool
also
that can do damage, but it's a tool that can also be really useful and won't do damage unless you make it.
Yep.
Well, it's kinda like a horse. It's dangerous, but if you are trained and you have discipline, there are things you can do with that giant thing or this very ominous thing, which my wife is an equine lady, so that was directly applicable to her.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't isn't Hannah a
I'm not just
horse
randomly
lady?
talking about horse. People are gonna be
I
like, "I
thought you
know he's
were.
retarded." Jesus.
What's all
and
this
then, like
horse
Love that though.
horsemen's?
No, honestly, I think, okay, for anyone who's listening and wants to try and get their girlfriend, daughters, wives, whatever involved, that's a great thing to do is to be able to relate it to something else. Like take away the tact dude bro bullshit that is heavily
Yeah,
surrounded guns and make it a tool no different than a screwdriver and relate the ability to use that tool in something that your partner, daughter, whatever might understand better. So Hannah, yeah, horses can be
yeah.
dangerous as shit. If you get bucked off, if you get
I
kicked
don't like them.
behind, oh
Yeah,
my god, I'd rather get
definitely
shot than
afraid.
bucked by.
I'm definitely afraid of horses. I really am.
Yeah, that's absolutely that's that's the best way to think about that, I think. That's
and then another thing is so we bought myself a gun to carry.
do you want me to hold your notes
No,
while we're
I'm
doing
good.
Oh, you're good? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so then we bought a gun. We bought me a Beretta 380
Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
Thought I was gonna love it. It was like bought it right after I had Jameson,
Yeah.
and I hate it. I went to the range
Well,
one
Uh,
time, and I
so
hated it. It was hard for me to, like, rack the slide back.
what made you want it? What was the thing that, like, you thought you would like about it? Was it just what it looked like?
What it looked like, and if I'm being I feel like you're influenced, you're like, "You'll love it!"
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
see, that's
Yeah,
definitely part of it.
Price does that
If I'm
sometimes.
I
Yeah,
I think
we'll
I don't
try.
know, I hear other people I saw
Right to the
other
defense
women
they
in
can.
the industry speaking very highly of this Beretta Cheetah, and I was I
Uh-huh.
was thinking it'd be a good option, and I like Beretta.
Well,
Beautiful gun.
However, this
what
is
about
not the standard I wanted it, so she got I actually don't like that gun. It's not for me. I will
You
admit I do
no,
not shoot
you
that
thought
gun.
it was gonna work for
I
me,
really did.
and
I wasn't
now
trying to be annoying.
no. The
man,
gun that I now
only
want
if the
is what
yeah, what's the
is
gun?
what Kevin has.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Kevin influencing
So my
small hands.
my only thought is how and I think one of the age old question is how do you get to the person to the range? Because what Kevin shoots fucking sucks. It's not fun. It's
Hey,
annoying,
dude,
snappy.
why are you bashing my 365 XL so much? Maybe
Because
it
it
sucks for
sucks.
you. Maybe
No,
it sucks
wait,
for
Hannah,
you.
sweetie, you want a 365?
I mean, I need to
XL,
shoot it to
XL.
really
No, we can do
say that I
better. I
want.
gotta take you to
Oh,
the range.
damn it,
Thank
Jesse,
So
you.
I
it
knew
sounds
you were
like
gonna
Jesse
say
needs to
that.
come visit.
Yeah.
we
Oh, I'm
we might
saying
need
like
to make a visit here.
Jesse's
but
emotional
so okay.
response to Sig is
This is where I
unparamount.
think more of a caliber conversation comes into play because I've had arguments where they're like, you need this minimum caliber to have this effect on people, but if you're not willing to take that caliber to the range, what good is it if you're not comfortable around it?
You
So if you're
Yeah, you do
comfortable
have to
to carry a
train.
20, yeah, if you're comfortable with the 22 and you can put a bunch of 22 bullets in someone's eye, okay, that's great. But the other thing is trying to like balance the requirements. So I think another problem you get with the bro vets is it's got to be 9 millimeter, and you're a weenie if
Well
it's not
well,
even worth
look,
carrying a gun
it
otherwise, which
look
is kind of
look,
crazy.
the first gun that you're gonna get and carry, like, I bought my Glock 19. I put so many rounds through it. I've rebuilt it, like, what, 3 times now? 4 times?
Something like
I
that.
shot out the safety trigger shoe, Jesse. The
Very
safety
nice.
shoe. I didn't know that. I had no
Impressive.
idea. Bryce was someone that's like, "Hey, dude, this safety's broken." I'm like, "Really?"
Is
The
it?
dingus
Yeah, that's
on
what
his
I said. I'm
trigger's
like, "Re"
just like
I didn't know it
I'm
was
jiggling.
like, "No
broken.
way." I'm like, "Is it really broken?" Why did the shells hit me in the forehead? My extractor's gone? What? That's crazy. What's that?
No, but to your point though, you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know what you will or won't like until you start trying things. And especially, I mean, Bryce, hats off to you for trying to do some research and what other women might like. And obviously, it's not always a perfect science, preferences are different. But it's a tricky balance if you're trying to get someone into it, because if you hand them something that's so god awful, well, suddenly now you have to undo any of that. Like, if you shot something, Hannah, that was so snappy and horrible to use, I would imagine it would be harder to get you back on the range to try something different.
Jeez, I only wonder what she's talking about.
That's kinda my caution with her getting a double stack, like one of the micro nines, is because they are fundamentally unlikable guns in
They
terms of
I
actually shooting and
I
practicing with.
will I will concede and say they are not super pleasant to shoot.
Okay, so and then we're gonna get people commenting, "Well, I run my Glock 48 in competition." That's great. We're not talking to you. I'm not saying you can't run these guns to great effect. I know there are GMs out there going from concealment, running these
I
stages. That's great. Not
I think it'd be
you.
f I think it'd be funny if she got a Glock 43 and loved it.
so I you
40.
say that,
Oh,
for a while I
great.
carried a 43X, and I say for a good while I carried a 43X. Um, the good thing about Glocks is you can customize the hell out of them. I think everyone who has a Glock also has a shit ton of aftermarket parts in their Glocks, but it's hard to take someone who's new and tell them, "Here, we can customize it. Let's start with this base," because they don't know what they may or may not like. I will say, though, for a lot of new shooters, if I take people to the range, and this is outside of just concealed carrying, this is shooting as a whole, I largely try to convince people that I promise you a rifle will be easier to shoot than a handgun.
Mhm.
People see a tiny little handgun, tiny little pistol, and they think it's gonna be better because it's a small package. They think the smaller the pistol, the easier it'll be because, "Oh, it's tiny, it's less damaging."
Complete opposite.
Please take this .22 rifle. Please take this PCC. Please take this 5.56 full-blown rifle. You will be able to handle it better if you have not shot before. The snap might be scary, the gunshot might be scary
When it goes boom,
sounding,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's the worst part, and
Oh, yeah.
especially as a woman, like, I'm sure you have tiny hands too, I can see them over there, you look like we're in the same boat here. You want a smaller gun because it's gonna be easier to hold, and then suddenly you start shooting and, oh no, those smaller guns are usually snappier,
Spicier.
Mm,
and,
yeah.
well, fuck, I don't wanna shoot anymore because if that's what these are like, they're terrible. And
Mhm.
it's conflicting information in what visually your brain is telling you versus mechanically how these things are designed.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
that's
like,
really well said.
When I shot Bryce's AK, that thing, like, looking at it, terrifying looking. I'm like,
Yep.
"I'm not gonna do this."
It
But
it
then
had a two-port break on it, so the next part's gonna make a little bit more sense knowing that.
but then I was like I braced myself, had a good stance, was ready to shoot, and it's just loud,
That's it.
but it's not, like, intimidating. If you have a good stance, you shouldn't be scared.
You get that first shot done, and then I guarantee you look over to Bryce with a smile, and you're like, "Oh, that's fun."
I did,
Smiles
and
per fool.
we were actually at our family cabin, we have, like, a little private range, and I mean, the first one, it went boom, and I was like, "This is awesome," and then he was like, "Alright,
But
well,
that's
then
it.
let her rip," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, that's good.
It's definitely more fun to shoot a rifle, but if I'm gonna carry, I can't conceal a rifle.
Well, and then you start needing to balance what things you need
Yep,
versus convenience because the smaller just
Right,
just like Jesse's saying, the smaller the gun starts to get, the less convenient it
yep,
is to actually shoot. Clint
and
Smith
train with it.
and a
Yep,
bunch of people talk about, like, I mean, bigger the gun, the easier to fight with. So you need
yeah,
now, with that being said, you need to be able to part of the beauty of concealed, by the way, I'm specifically speaking to concealed carry. Part of the concealment is people not knowing you have a firearm.
mhm,
And if you're in a or you're in a restrictive place, if you choose to firearm or choose to carry based, you need to be very aware of the people around you. And they are probably looking for, especially if they're office workers, like they're definitely going to be completely differently than where I work at a gun auction place where it's like, "Oh, he's got a gun." That's kinda weird
Mhm.
to to see in a government building
Well,
past like a, law enforcement.
ideally, nobody knows she has a gun unless she absolutely has to use it. If she has to use it, it's already a really bad day, and
Right,
half the
but you
people are
move
dead anyway,
around.
so
You are not you don't just sit in one place. I guess that's what I'm saying. People are like, "Oh, you can conceal." It's like, I you can, but you
you
are
gotta move around.
you're operating a three-dimensional world. Like, you can't just as
Well,
rigid as a board. I
just
mean, printing matters.
Yeah,
just
you
like
have to
you
be
Printing, that's
aware.
what it's called,
yeah.
printing.
Printing.
I always
Well,
forget what it's
just like
called.
you told me, when I got my first carrier, like, and I was nervous about all that, you're like, put it on right now and just wear it all fucking day at home. Don't take it off. And I did for like 2, 3 days. I just kept it on, within reason. I wore it all around my house. I got comfortable sitting, bouncing, all that crap. And then now out in the world, it's a lot more natural.
Well,
So that's a good way to get
it's
over that
steps.
sensation. Yeah.
You if you look at the gun in different settings, now if you're at your stage of firearms ownership and it's in a box in the closet and I take it out and I have a box of ammo and I go to the range and then it leaves the box at the range. That's okay. That is a perfectly reasonable place to be in your firearms journey. You are
Yep.
further along than most people. So that's awesome. Good for you. Now, the idea is to start making that an okay thing to be in other settings. It's okay to have that tool or that thing in like the grocery store because ideally it's a little bit more useful there. But you're walking your way up to that. It's you don't need to jump. Some people like to jump straight in, but I don't think putting a I don't think a gun is the first thing you jump into. So just like I was telling Kevin, put the gun on, just have it around, be comfortable. Ideally, not loaded when you're first doing this your first time, but you're walking your way up to comfort. And then after, when Kevin was done wearing it for however long, he was like, "It's not that bad." Now I'm like, okay, but eventually you got to put some ammo in it. So you start walking yourself
I
close.
That
Even to
was
that point
scary.
too,
Yeah.
you know what, and if people do this and they do this, you see it get made fun of a lot, but people who either don't carry with the round in the chamber or carry with their safeties on, and from a self-defense perspective, I now have one in the chamber. I either don't have safeties or I leave the safety off if I'm carrying it. But to the same point, if you're starting off, if you're getting comfortable, if you're early in your journey and that helps you feel a little bit more willing to take something out on your person, so be it. Good for you because you're working towards a better goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I will say, I know this is gonna be completely counter to what most people think, but I think revolvers are actually great for women that aren't, like, super big gun guys, and now it
Get out
becomes
of here.
incumbent upon you.
Get
Now
him,
it
Get up
Jesse.
on it here.
part of that is that most women don't wanna, or not most women, that's incredibly sexist. The women that I have or talked to,
I'll do it.
and even some people that do carry, a a lot of the time it turns into it's a tool, it's less something that I'm playing with or messing with every day, so the practice I do have is pressing the trigger. I don't have to worry about racking around, I don't have to worry about, uh, popping magazines, there's less into it than just
Oh,
pressing the trigger. The flip side of
mechanic.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, mechanic,
I
so
will
there's less going into it.
Yeah,
And
to that
revolvers,
point,
yeah,
it's a simpler operating system because you have the rounds in the chamber and you pull the trigger and that's done.
That
It's less to
bang,
think
bang,
about,
bang. Yeah.
but I will say it is much harder to find one that's an easy trigger pull, easy comfortable grip, and while it seems like it's easier in terms of usage, it's less comfortable in terms of usage. So it goes back to the conversation of you gotta list out your pros and cons and what you care about. We're saying
Eh,
carry too many times now. I
once
can't.
you
You're on the
only
Carry
if
On
there's a
podcast.
handle. Yeah, only if there's a handle around.
It's here
So
somewhere.
Hannah, I
that's
have
fantastic.
to ask for you since
Uh-huh.
you're early in your journey. Are there certain things that you're trying to focus on, or maybe certain things that you're largely more uncomfortable with than others? Like things in the back of your mind that you're like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I have to worry about these areas.
It's just honestly, it's just for me, it's just getting close. practice and getting more time to do it, and then getting comfortable with the gun that I wanna carry.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I'm
'Cause
assuming
I
you
have
appendix
a
carry?
I'm sorry?
Do you appendix carry? Do you carry on your waist or
I have a Fils is it Filster?
Enigma.
Okay, yeah.
Enigma.
So
Oh, I love
we
the
she
Enigma,
hasn't
solid
I mean,
choice there.
in terms of Carrie's style, she's still having a I mean, you could tell her, but, like, in terms of have you actually decided how you wanna carry?
Yeah. I wanted to use the Filster, the Enigma.
That's good.
I just need
This is a
to
podcast,
have a
not a
Yeah.
gun.
talk.
Yeah.
Eh,
Express, silly girl. Oh, in terms of what's the li how do you what are you looking for out of that? Like, in
I
ter
just need I guess I need to find a gun that I'm comfortable with, like, wearing it, practicing putting, on me, then
yeah.
pulling it, and I would just need to do that with the, range time.
I I feel like you would be best just going to a couple of the local gun stores near you and just touching guns. Just keep touching them.
We
That's what
went
me and Bryce
to a
did.
place.
Well, keep doing it. Keep doing like, yeah, like
You guys touch each other's guns? Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All the
She
time.
tests all of mine out before I get to play with them. You
Oh,
see.
oh, I thought you were talking
This
me
was a
and Bryce.
family
Oh, you're
podcast.
talking about them.
Oh, I met you and Bryce. Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys
no,
touch
me
each
and
other's
Bryce.
guns.
Yeah, me and
Yeah.
Bryce touch each other's guns.
All the time.
Of course we do.
Of course. Well, you thought I would meet my wife? Ugh, never.
Good lord. It's
So
Incredible.
I just
Right.
definitely need to put some time aside to go to, like, several stores and also go to the gun
yeah.
range.
So I think the range is another thing that is kind of intimidating for people because playing with the guns when they're not making noise or nobody else is making noise around you, when you start
Right.
adding layers and you start thinking about other people being around, it kinda gets to be a bit much.
It's
I mean, it
scary. It
yeah.
really is. I mean, my
Well, I
first
mean,
time
even
shooting was in the middle of the woods at a sign.
Side?
Yeah, and
and
then
he
I
was
and I
running.
hightailed it. Well, I had to hightail one out of there because somebody called the law after I ripped off like 20, 30 rounds into a tree. Because I saw the sheriff
Them
going in the
old Duke
opposite
boys at
direction,
it
and I was
again.
yeah,
No.
I was leaving, and I saw the sheriff's office going the opposite direction. It's like, oh, that's weird. Eh,
That was kinda
how
like Kevin and I
interesting.
doing donuts or, like, drifting in the one parking structure and then, like, running away when we saw the cops coming the other way. I
Oops.
remember drift.
Whoops.
But yeah,
Never
the
done that.
ranges, that's gonna be well, I mean, no, 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 no. For you and Hannah, it should be easy because you have that private place for your friend is.
So now I mean, so
Just comes
that's a limiting factor, I think, is indoor ranges are, like, the most
I
accessible
hate
thing,
indoor
and there
ranges.
we go.
No,
So
So
no, like, you
loud.
have your friend. The friend that yeah. You
but, I mean
you should set that up. That would be
The most
probably the
difficult part
best.
is my number 1 is I'm a wife and a mom.
wait,
Yeah, it's
whoa,
hard to
whoa, whoa,
get that
you don't
time
get to
to
I'm the one trying to take you to the range, so don't throw me
Okay,
in
I'm
there.
a mom.
Hold on,
That's the biggest part is just
madam.
being able to
yeah,
set
you have to
time
be able
Yeah,
to take that
aside
time
for
away
myself.
from right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she didn't have a
yeah.
man-child of I mean, a wonderful
Whoop.
husband.
Now, Hannah, I have to ask, do you practice dry firing at all? No.
I'll be 100% honest, I do not take any time for myself to be able to
I
do
think
that.
you can practice bad dry firing. So that's something that should be done with caution because if you're not aware of what you're doing wrong, then you're suddenly drilling in bad habits. But that is always an easy way at home to get familiar with at least drawing from holster and, fiddling with the gun, pulling up and making sure your sights are where they should be, your irons are where they should be. That's always something you can do at home without having to take that time away. And even outside of your, holster, whatever you're using, if people are purse carrying, pocket carrying, whatever, I'm assuming you're shooting irons. You don't have an optic on whatever gun you're trying right now, right?
She actually prefers dots.
Yeah, Bryce has drilled dots into her head.
Good. No, I am so happy to hear that because I think and this was something I did too when I first started shooting handguns. My brain was like, learn the fundamentals first without any kind of tools to compensate, right? Like, oh, if I use a red dot now, that's like cheating. I never really learned to shoot the pistol as is, which is a dumbass logic to have had because I think red dots, you can really see
Why
where
make
your
this
flaw
easier?
is. Right. And it builds in
I
those better habits. I started drawing with a red dot, and I realized that time and time again, I consistently drew pointing down. And here in my mind, I think I'm drawing straight, but every single time my wrist is downward facing and a red dot let me see that. So even if you're not shooting the gun at home, even if you're not carrying it and putting it on your person, put the gun on a table, hands off, give yourself a go, pick that gun up, and where are you holding it? Where is that dot? And sure, that's not a one-to-one to carrying, that's not what your EDC
Mhm.
circumstance would be, but that's still training yourself on how to find a good position so that when you shoot, you should be where you wanna be as quick as possible.
Exactly.
I like to
Absolutely.
do this is gonna be hard for people listening, so bear with me as I explain this. I like to just hold a gun by where I would be otherwise carrying it if I don't have a holster for it. Just hold it here or whatever here and just shadow draw. You don't need to have a holster on to practice that.
Yep.
And suddenly now you know, hey, when I pull up, it's down, it's to the side, I'm doing this. So those are all really good ways that you can work on those skills and get those fundamentals without shooting at all. Range time's important, but range time with good habits is very important.
Wow, that was perfectly said. Perfectly
Yeah.
said. Yes.
I think going in and we've said this before, and it's going in with an understanding and what your use case is. And I think when you go in very realistic with what your actual needs are, and don't go into this going, well, I'm gonna go to war with this gun, I'm gonna carry this gun, and I'm gonna protect my house with this gun.
Yeah.
Figure out what you really want. What do
Find your
you?
why.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that. That's
Find
excellent.
your why.
Ooh, like
Go.
kiss me, damn it.
Oh,
Fucking noped me out on like
wow. That was a
Wow,
nope.
rejected
Nope to
on
live.
live
so
TV.
find so it's fucked. So find your use case, figure out what you actually need, and understand going into this, bullets are not magically making your problems go away. You have to put them where they need to go. Otherwise, it's not just this spray or this bear spray, just generally shoot in a general location. Like you're not this isn't a show of force.
Yeah.
This is you need a deadly weapon. That's why you have it.
Yeah.
It's a real mentality
So,
shift too that you'll start
yeah.
you'll start to discover this whole mentality shift of I have a thing on me that can end
Mhm.
someone. And all your emotions, all your disgruntled, like, "Oh, that guy cut me off." All that kind of fades away to the background because is it
It's
worth
not
it to do
empowering you to
anything?
be more of a dick.
Right, right.
No.
If
You're
anything that humbles you, like, now when I'm carrying out in public, I'm humble as fuck. If I can leave a situation, bye-bye. I'm
Well,
gonna
that's the
leave.
thing too, like, a lot of I mean, you hear this thrown around, especially gun people, "Oh, people who conceal carry are less likely to commit crimes." I think people who conceal carry are generally more law-conscious people, they're more whatever, we can generalize in that sense,
Right.
but I do think there is a factor of if I'm out in public, "Hey, I have this on me." Now, anytime an altercation occurs, it's elevated that much more. Like, if
Yeah.
I get into a fist fight with someone in the Walmart parking lot and cops show up, well, I had a gun on my person, now it's no longer just aggravated assault,
Yeah.
it's aggravated assault with a weapon even if I don't take it out.
yeah.
So,
And if somebody
you
asks
do
you to leave, it's immediately armed trespass, which, you know,
Yeah.
that's a felony.
yeah. So, like, you're more aware of your surroundings, but you're also more in control of your response to your
Yeah, social
surroundings, at
awareness.
least you should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People should be socially
Absolutely.
aware.
Yeah,
Situationally aware socially. I
100%.
mean,
I mean, like, even at my job how our desks are all set up. Everything's open. We have the plexiglass for the counters, but that's because of COVID. So, you
No,
know, there's been several times where people are like, "What happens if somebody comes in with a gun? I'm gonna hide behind this fake wood," you know? I mean, employees have questioned, like,
yeah.
"What is our plan if we can't get out that back door? What are we supposed to do?"
Where everybody's going.
Yeah, where is everybody going?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of those, like, mental fallacies. I mean, I have them at my job too sometimes. And I give people the cold, hard truth. I'm like, "Look, if somebody comes in here with a weapon, we're fucking dead."
What are you gonna
I
do?
mean, there's gonna be a lot of dead people before we can react, guaranteed. So, it's just, like, don't fall into this mental fallacy that, a lot of people do.
It the biggest thing is don't become a hero because you think you can now.
That's it. Your
Yeah,
first goal should always be to get out of that situation. If the only way out is using your firearm, then so be it.
yep,
But your goal should be to find an exit, find a way out, find something other than having to use force if you
yep,
Be
can.
aware.
You're
I think
yeah,
I think what's interesting about firearms is you can bring in such an absolute, and you have basically the end all in terms of this will definitely change someone's whole life. For the worse, for the better. It is
It
very
will change
humbling
2
as long as
lives
yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah,
either
absolutely. Oh, your life is completely changed.
that's
Yeah.
it, and no matter
yeah,
how prepared you think you are for a situation, I don't think you can ever prepare for actually having to take action, and, I mean, yeah, I am prepared to defend myself, but I also know that if I do take a life in the name of self-defense, I will have to cope with the fact that I took a life. I
yeah,
can justify it. I would have no hesitation in defending myself or my loved ones if that's what it meant, but it's still a mental hurdle that you can't train.
yeah. Yeah, you have, like, a rational detachment from the situation at hand, but later on, once the adrenaline wears off, everything wears off, it starts to,
Yeah, most of us aren't
seep into your
psychopaths who can
yeah,
just stomach having taken a life like it's nothing. If
yeah,
you don't sit back
And
afterward
not
and
grieve.
kinda question, like, "I did this?"
And I think that's where the homework comes in. That's where it comes into doing the dry fire, getting comfortable, carrying the gun. Because the gun you have, even if it has no round, and I know this is not a popular opinion, but no, the gun on you with no round in the chamber is better than a gun that you left at home because you weren't comfortable with it.
Mhm.
So
fair.
getting wherever you are in your journey, I mean, keep walking forward. You're doing a good job.
I'm gonna doubly point that out as I think it's hard for people to begin with. The gun community is very like, "Oh, do it my way, that's the only right way." And
Alright.
that's with gun preferences, ammo preferences, whatever, we're really shitty to each other. And then I hate to point the finger, woe is me, as women, there's already an extra eye on you, and what you do or don't do is that much more criticized. Like, you
Yeah,
can have a slightly less than ideal form. I know this was something I did a lot. I was able to stabilize pistols better by having my thumbs crossed. Technically, that's a revolver stance. I got yelled at a lot to separate my thumbs. When I first started off, I was able to get a better grip and control the gun better by crossing my thumbs. It helped me put even pressure on the firearm. Who gives a shit if someone can shoot comfortably and well if that's how they're holding the gun? Are they being safe? Yes. Are they comfortable? Yes. Are they involved in the two-way community? Yes. Why do we beat each other up over that? And, like, especially as a woman, we're tinier, we have different needs with our hand sizes, our carrying capacities just because of our frames and everything. Doubly more so, men can screw off for telling you what is or isn't right because at the end of the day, if you're comfortable and you're safe, that's what matters.
Yep. I
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
totally
so
agree with
good.
that. Well, that's what's really been nice about it. Instagram has been amazing for the firearms community and also detrimental in the same breath. I have never seen
Mhm.
more positive female voices in the firearms industry than I have today. I also have not seen more negative ones. So, in negative, I'm not going to get into what is negative or positive, but if they're teaching something and you went, oh, that's a good one. If you're just watching some stuff for nonsense, then that's not what I'm talking about. So, there are strong, like Jesse, strong voices that give you good information, and
Yes.
it is unprecedented the access we have to good quality information, even in the firearms industry, because before when I grew up, it was you might get a firearms writer from Guns and Ammo to have his wife do an op-ed or something. But now, I
Yeah.
mean, we have tons. I mean, and granted, and this is an easy one, but Lena Mechalek she left, but she started Rose. That was a firearms
Yeah.
more center or a female firearms centered brand. People may have not liked it for, well, it was only gold stuff or whatever. But the idea was it was making a serious shooter, by the way, pushing good stuff, marketing towards women who otherwise maybe not be interested. I think
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's massive steps like that I'm very happy to see, and I can send my wife messages or I can send her users and be like, "Hey, how about you take a look at this person?"
Yeah, the community is no longer what your next door neighbor is like, "Oh, hey, I picked this up. Come to the woods and try it with me." It's now a wealth of information, different perspectives, valid sources. You're hearing a lot more and you're seeing the big picture, not only on the gun end, but on like the use case end. You have people who focus on more concealed defense things. You have people who focus more on tactical usage or just home defense or whatever. You can find every subsect within the community now and get that much more information rather than just, the guy at the store said to go with this. I guess I'll trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not making commissions off of me. Sure,
What
surely.
do you mean the store is sponsored by Springfield and all they're doing is insisting I buy a Springfield?
Oh, no, no, no.
Curious.
What do you mean that's his 10th
I
sale
I
today?
remember people may not know this, but Springfield was almost a SIG character in the firearms space. They they were kind of a meme for a while with their grip zone and all their fucking XD nonsense.
100%.
So,
We've yeah, we since transferred that to SIG. So, what else? What else you got?
more.
No?
Give us
That was
more. Give us more, Hannah.
more. So
More.
that was about it. And that was
Okay.
a really good conversation.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
I think
just it
that's a
wasn't
great.
No, I appreciate
I'm
your tips. Very
I'm
helpful.
okay.
invested in Hannah's journey now into firearms.
I know, no, yeah. So, for listeners, my wife is going to be on more. We just need to figure out our schedules in terms of how we're going to set this up. But she will be a more regular character, so this served as her soft reintroduction, and I'm very happy she came on. And thank you,
I'll make
Jesse, for
Yeah,
also
thanks,
coming on.
Jesse.
I'll make
Uh,
sure to
Always
black out
so
happy.
the account budget when she comes on.
the boss is coming. Hide the money.
Yeah, don't talk about that
Uh,
$3,000. Oh, I'm saying too much.
all right. Oh, hey, Kevin, we already forgot to do the responsible podcast things. So we'll
No,
move
we
on to the
didn't.
second part of the show
I didn't
where we
forget to
didn't,
do the
I
friends.
definitely didn't forget to
I
do the
I
friends of the
tried to add
channel.
it. I tried to add it, but you
Did you?
just
I'm
immediately
so
cut me
sorry.
off in the beginning.
I was so excited. Hannah was ready to start. I was like, oh, we can do it.
All right,
What are
so
we missing?
We're,
friends in the channel, Hammy 3D Prints, and Eastern Shore Company.
yes. And for Hammy, it's the Carry Handle Gang because I couldn't think. He put me on the spot. He was like, what's a good discount code? And I'm like,
I'm gonna laugh so
Carry Handle
hard if that's
Gang.
not
And then
what
I
it
was like,
is.
that's stupid.
And then Eastern
And then
Shore Sling
Eastern Sling,
Company's carry handle.
the carry. Is it
No,
carry
no, it's
handle or
just
carry
carry
handle?
handle. Yeah, it's just carry handle.
So
10%
eventually
off.
what'll happen is you'll put X amount of inputs in and then it'll tell you yes or no.
Just try every
Literally, I'm gonna
combination
tell
possible.
every combination. I'm just gonna tell him to keep making new ones so that they're all valid. All right.
Yeah.
Uh so
Suppressor
normally what
Fest.
we do is oh fuck. We're gonna be at Suppressed Fest. It's not it's Suppressed Fest.
Suppressed.
Suppressed Fest, the nation's biggest
No,
all
suppressed.
suppressed only shooting event. So if you guys have things you want us to look at, uh, if you want us to talk to people, do whatever you want. Give us contact the
We'll be
show at
touching
the Carrie Handle
cans.
Podcast, literally everywhere. It's on Instagram, the
Spotify.
YouTube, ideally. So you reach out. We also have Gmail and Outlook. Both of them are the same because I'm a bit of a boob and I forget which one I'm using. So the Carrie Handle Podcast at outlook.com and gmail.com, respectively. Wait, I think there's more. Was that? Oh, and we're going to SHOT Show. So we'll be there. So again, same goes. Tell us the things that you want and tell us the things you don't want. And then we're still going to do them because I like to
And
talk to people.
we might
Which is
videotape
a
touching
lie.
each other's cans.
The other thing, shout out FPS Kenny. We're going to be meeting up with him at Suppressed Fest as well. So look for something, I guess. I don't know. He's cool. We like him. So, all right. So the next part of the show, normally, I mean, I think we already talked to Jesse about this, but it may have changed. But in terms of your dry fire routine, what are we doing for dry fire? I know you sort of talked about it.
Yeah, what are we doing,
we brought this
Jesse?
up with Hannah here too. I said this last time and I still stand by it. I am trying to get better at being consistent with that. I think every single one of us struggles with getting to the range and practicing. But even if you take 15 shots, whatever your magazine capacity is, and that's all you do for the range day, then so be it. And even if you draw dry fire twice at home, that's something, so be it. I think we all need to get better at it.
I think touching the gun is just the biggest thing when you're getting into this, or at least from what I can tell, is the less scary a thing is, the more likely you are to integrate it into your life. Like driving a car, a lot less
I
scary, a
sit
lot
here
easier
on
to
my
do the more you
computer,
do it.
I do stuff like this with you guys, and half the time I'm using a unloaded, safe firearm as a fidget spinner. I'm just
Safe.
racking it.
Unloaded,
Obviously, I'm being
the
safe.
loudest unloaded ever. Yes, we
Just
have.
pop, that's fine.
Hey, we like
no, you
them
can
too.
see all the dirtiness. No, don't look over there.
Oh
That's
shit.
funny.
Well, I think I know Hannah's dry fire routine. We're gonna start that. Well, it's this, it's the fidget spinner gun.
I mean that using this fidget spinner
Hey,
gun
I
or
mean,
a toy gun, if that takes the fear out of doing it, proper
Yeah,
mechanics.
touching
Yeah,
guns, man.
holster a Nerf gun, that's fine. You're
yeah,
carrying something. You're getting used to carrying something.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
just need to do it more.
exposure,
Yeah.
got to get you doing it.
Do it more and don't let people bullying you into what is or isn't sufficient practice. It's
All
like
right.
Messing
working
up
out,
my
right?
audio.
People forget that shooting is a muscle,
Yes.
and whether it's both strength to be able to do it as efficiently as you want, or like the muscle memory on doing it. If you do one push-up a day and that's how you start your workout routine and your strength fitness journey, you will make progress. If you practice holstering once a day and you just draw randomly once in your day, guess what? That's still progress. There's no wrong way to implement it more.
Exactly.
I think one thing I've been trying to implement in my life is giving myself grace and understanding I'm as long as I'm trying my best, not trying, doing your
Showing
best,
up.
showing up, actually giving a shit. I think that's all that matters. And you know what? Doing one more thing than you did yesterday is so incredible because it's better than nothing. I mean, just
Yep.
one step is
That's
beautiful
all it
and
takes.
it's a great job.
One step, one day at a time.
That's it.
Yep.
All we can do.
All right. I think that's a good natural wrapping up point.
Jesse,
well,
plug
ladies,
yourself.
thank you so
Plug yourself,
much.
Jesse.
Oh, Jesse, plug yourself. I'm sorry.
Check out Boondock Ballistician on YouTube, Instagram, and X, I guess.
X.
Twitter. I keep going to say
Well,
Twitter.
you're on X?
Oh,
I'm not very
Yeah, I
active.
know.
Go
It's
check
X
it out.
now. Oh, X marks the spot.
X.
All right.
X.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Kevin and I
Shit
are
talk.
going to try and remember where the outro is. Hold on.
Yeah, hit the outro.
All right.
Hit the outro.
Thanks
hit
for
the
tuning in,
outro.
guys. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Very cool. You should like and subscribe.
On Facebook and Instagram.
And Twitter and Spotify. You should listen there too
Well,
if you
aren't they
heard this on
listening to
Spotify.
this on Spotify right now?
Well, they could be, but there's also YouTube podcasts, so all of the places.
We always forget where we post this stuff.
We don't know where this is. Thank you for listening wherever you're listening to, but you should also like the other places that we are. And
Who
then
are we and what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know how we got here. So thank you for letting us talk directly into your ear holes.
Right to the brain.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Adios.